Hello guys, hopefully you are doing great. Today I'm going to demonstrate one of the tasks related to databases. For that reason, I have already downloaded the source files and question paper. Later, I will provide link in the description from where you can download these source files and question paper. For your practice, what you can do is to download those source files and follow along. Follow my lead. Whatever I'm doing, you can just follow that lead. And more importantly, you can step by step do the practice. That would be a great approach to learn and practice. Let us start this task. So first of all, I'm just going to open question paper. So I'm going to do task 3 from this question paper. If I just show you this question paper, it is from May-June 2019 and it is paper 2. And paper 2 is all about practical. So within this, I'm going to do database task. And while doing that, I'm going to highlight whatever the steps I'm doing. So that you can keep track of what we are done and what we have to do. So let us starting with these instructions. They're saying you are now going to prepare some reports. Make sure all currency values display the same currency symbol and are set to 2 decimal places. So some of the students, I have seen them, they ignore this statement that is in italics. Never to ignore that. It has to do something with the formatting. And in this case, this formatting is related to currency. So keep this thing in your mind while dealing with the currency. Let us start. They are saying that using suitable database package, import the file j219books.csv. So for that reason, the suitable database package is Microsoft Access in this case. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new database here. So my database file, I can rename this file as my database because they did not ask you any specific name to name this. So I can just name it like my database. So now you can open it, you will see. So let us see what is the next step that we have to do. They're saying that we have to import j21books.csv. So I have created this database and now I have to import the file j21books.csv in this database. So I have to click on external data and then click on new data source. Then select text file, click on this, and then you have to navigate yourself to that particular folder. So my folder is, in this case, is on the desktop. And I just have to see where is that .csv file that I have to import. You can see j219books.csv. Let me check what file they need. Yeah, books.csv, this one. So just click open and click OK. Now you no need to do anything from here. Just click on next. And this is very important. You have to make this first row as labels for each field. So click on first row, contains field names. Click on next. Click on next. And now go to the advanced options. Just compare this with the data dictionary that is provided here in this paper. You can see that you have to just verify that data types are matching for each field name. So let us check. So title, author, or short text, so they are correct. Then book reference long integer, so it is number type, it's fine. Then next 3 field names or text, so you can see next 3 fields are text type. The next 2 are here numbers and integers, fine. So it's correct. Then RRP, this is RRP and ASP is a currency value. So we have to change this into currency. As you can see, if I just zoom in, you can see RRP is double and ASP is double. So what I have to do, I just have to change it into currency. Then next to binding and publish date, binding is text and publish date is date and time. So it is correct. Few more things we have to verify. For example, here you can see that date delimiter is dash. So here in my computer it's /. I can choose it at dash. And other than that, you can see DMY, it's fine, and just click OK. And then set book ref as a primary key. So you can see here it is already chosen as let access add primary key, but I have to choose my own primary key. So in this case, book ref is my primary key. Select this, or either case you can select it from here. So book ref, it's fine. So in upcoming papers with a new syllabus, they will not tell you that what is going to be the primary key. But in this paper, you can see it's already mentioned that you have to choose book ref as a primary key. But in upcoming new syllabus, they will not suggest you, or they will not tell you what is going to be a primary key. So for that reason, you just have to know that what is the primary key. So primary key is basically a unique identifier for each record or each row. You can just analyze where is the column that has unique values. So in this case, you can see book ref is having the unique values for each record or each row. So that would be it. So I'm just going to choose book ref as a primary key. Click next and click on finish. Now you're done with the importing of one table. If I just double click here, you will see that this table is imported. Now what I'm going to do, I always suggest that whenever you have to go to the design view, just close this and always keep it clean. Fine. Click on design view and you can see that field names and data types are here. And you can see this is our primary key. Let us do a few more things from here. So wherever if you remember, we are being told that you are going to set same currency symbol. So no matter either you are going to select it euro, pound, or a dollar, but if you have selected dollar, you have to keep that dollar for the entire task. So what else I need to do? If I just show you here, double click, so you can see that publish date format is not correct, and also we have to do correct formatting for this as well. So how we are going to do? Right click, click on design view, and then go to the currency. So I'm just going to zoom in so that you can see. So here, format, I have to choose. You can choose any format you like. For example, right now I'm just going to choose this format. And then decimal places, I'm just going to choose it as 2 decimal places. Same thing I'm going to do with this currency. So I have to select the currency that I have chosen. That is a pound symbol with 2 decimal places. So I am going to change it like this. This is done up to this point. What else I need to change is that publish date. So I have to change the format of this date as well. So just see what format they are asking us to put. So your date should look like this. Fine. So I'm just going to put this particular formatting there. So let us do this. So 2 times D, 3 times, and double click, you will see that all of the currency values have same type of currency symbol. In this case, it is pound and 2 decimal places. So this is, we are done with first table, and we have verified every aspect of this table. Now they are asking us to take a screenshot of what we did. So I'm just going to highlight up to this point. Here we go. So evidence 6, it is saying place in your evidence document screenshot evidence showing the field names and data types used in the table. So I did not make a evidence document for this particular task. Simple is that here what you have to do, go to the design view and take a screenshot of this portion. So I'm just going to tell you how to do that. You are going to use Windows Shift S and you can take a screenshot of this portion like this. And then you can put that screenshot in your evidence document. And you can see that in evidence, you have to put it as in evidence 6. So I'm going to highlight this as well. Now they are asking us to import another table, that is a genre table. And then class code is going to be the primary key. And then you can see that there is no data dictionary given for this. So no need to do any changings. Let us start. Again, same procedure, go to the external data. Then you have to go to the new data source and then click on text file. And you have to navigate yourself to that particular folder. In this case, we have to import genre table. So click on open. Click OK. Here you don't need to do any changings. Click on next. First row contains field names. You can see labels for the columns or fields. Click next. Click next. And then choose your own primary key. So as per instructions, they're asking us to choose class code. But it makes sense that primary key is a unique identifier for each record or each row. So this is going to be a unique identifier. Click next. Click finish. So now you have imported two tables. One is books table and other is genre table. Go to the design view and you can see that there are not much changing, or you can say we don't need to make any changing here. So we don't have a date or currency or something like that. So that is perfect. We are done up to this point. I'm going to highlight this. Okay. Now create a one-to-many relationship between class code in a genre table and class code in books table. So we have to go to database tools. There is option of relationship. So we have to add both of the tables to make the relationship between both of them. So you just have to see, they said that from class code, from genre table to class code in books table. Remember, you can see that this primary key is part of another table. You can see. So this, in this case, this class code is a foreign key in J219 books table. So I'm just going to drag this class code on this class code and then click create. So this is going to be a one-to-many relationship. And then you can take a screenshot of this portion like this here. If I just double click here, again, click on this relationship line and click here. You can see, you can edit the relationship as well. And also just see, they're asking that you have to take a screenshot of this. So what I am going to do, it is you are going to put it under evidence 7. So place in your evidence document showing the relationship between two tables. So you can take a screenshot of this entire portion, Windows Shift S. So you can take screenshot of this portion and you can put it into your evidence document. So I'm just going to save this relationship here. So both of these tables are linked together. I'm just going to highlight this one as well. Now they're asking that create a columnar data entry form using fields from the books table, which includes only the fields book ref, class code, title, imprint, published date, binding, volume, and ASP. Now they are asking us to create a columnar data entry form. So how I'm going to do that? click on create, and there is option of form wizard. So here, if I just maximize, you can see there is option of form wizard. So I'm just going to click on this form wizard, and you can see we have a genre table, and also we have a books table. So let us see what fields we have to add it. So these fields should be in sequence. So start with a book ref. So here is my book ref, double click on that. Class code title. So you can see class code is there, title is there, imprint publish date, imprint publish date, binding, volume, and ASP. These are the required, what you can say, fields for our form. So include suitable form title, large underlined font. So click on next. And as you see that they were asking us to create a columnar. So it's already selected, no need to change. And for this, you have to give a suitable name. So I'm going to write as books entry fab. So click on finish. You will get this type of form. So we are going to do editing of the layout of this particular form that is required from us. So let us do that. So maximize it. So what you have to do, I'm just going to go to the layout view, and now I'm going to do a bit of editing. So for example, here I'm just going to go select this one, click on home, and then I'm just going to make it bold and also make it like this and keep it on the center. For example, I can just move it a little bit in the center. So when you have this four-headed arrow, you can move it easily. Next thing is that you can, make this form consistent, make the layout a bit more perfect. So like this. So keep holding the control key, and then you can use the arrow keys to make them aligned. I'm using the arrow keys, and also for this one, I'm going to move it a bit above here. Also this one, I can make this one little bit, I can shrink it like this. Then volume, keep holding the control key, select both, and then you can use arrow key to move it up. So like this. Here we go. So now I can, there is a lot of blank space. So for this date one, I can make it shrink like this. So I can make a little bit like this. The form should look good. It should have consistent layout. And you see there were a lot of blank spaces. So for this one, I can, you see, even the class code, it's not going to be that long, so I can make it like this. And these ones I can make a little bit large. So maybe title can take more space, and I'm going to make it like this. Okay, so now our form looks good. So that is done with the form part. This is the layout view. So just save the layout view. So everything layout has consistent alignment and spacing. So that is done. All fields that are fully visible. Yes, it's fully visible. Now use the form created on step 23, enter the following details as a new record. So this is the detail that we have to add through our form. So if I just double click here, so we have to add a new record to our table. So how we do that? So there is option here down. You can see there is option of new blank record. Just click on that. And now you have this blank form where you're going to put the values. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this data from my paper to this one. Then this one like this. But in your paper, obviously, you're going to get a hard copy of the paper. So you have to write it manually, obviously. But here we have this option because I'm using PDF form of my paper. So we have this option to copy paste. Here we go. And ASP is 5.29 here. So we have added this one, and if I use a shortcut key command Control S, and it's going to be saved. Fine. And check your data entry for errors. You can just double check that if there's any kind of error. Make sure all data is fully visible. Save the data. Place in your evidence document screenshot showing this data in the form. So simple. Up to this point we are done. We have checked. There is no data entry errors. And then more importantly, evidence 8, you have to take a screenshot of this. So I'm going to take screenshot of this Windows. For this one, if I just go to the layout view, I can make this one as well shrink so that it look consistent. Fine. So now I am going to take a screenshot like this and take a screenshot and put it into your evidence document. So if you have to check that either your data was added to the table or not, so you can search for that particular record. So in this case, if I select that particular record, for example this one, you can see that this record is displayed. So here from this option we can search that particular record. So I'm going to save this document, this form. Okay, we are done up to this point. Now we have to do step 25. It is about creating the report. So this is a bit tricky part, but don't get confused with it. So simple trick to solve this is that whenever you have to create a report and there is some criteria given with that, so you have to create a query first. And you can see query is all about fetching the results, desired results or required results from the table. So you can see that they are asking us to show these particular fields. Not only these particular fields, but we have to put some criteria for that. For example, title includes night. And more importantly, we have to calculate one of the field in runtime. So first thing first, start with this step 3 and then you can go upwards. This step 3 is about creating a query and with sequence with these particular fields. So let us start. So remember again, when you have to create or produce a report, you have to create what you can say query first, and then you have to create a report, because without query we cannot proceed, because we have to put some of the criterias here. So let us do this. So again, click on create. If I just zoom in, go to the create tab, and there is option of query wizard. So I'm going to click on query wizard. I'm dealing with simple query wizard. So click on OK. Now let us see what fields are required. I'm just going to zoom out. So first thing, remember it should be in sequence. So start with the title, imprint, publish date. Title, imprint, publish date, binding, volume, ASP. So check for binding, volume, ASP. And sales value in this order with the data and labels displayed in full. Do not group the data. So this step we are almost done. So one thing that you have seen here, sales value. I did not select any sales value because I cannot find sales value anywhere here. And if I just show you the other table, you can see there is no sales value. So the thing about that, don't get worried about the field that is not present, because they are going to say something about that field. For example, in this step, they are saying that you have to calculate sales value and it is in the currency format. Okay, so now what we are going to do, I'm going to click next, and I can just write query name, but this is, remember, this is a query. We have to create a report later stage. So I'm just going to name this as this particular query, like high volume book sales query, and click on finish. You can see that we have now two tables imported, linked together, then we have created a form, and then we have a query. Okay, now we are done up to this point. Now we can close this query, and we can go to the design view of this query. Not design view, yeah, design view of this query. Here you can see. Now we are going to do the next step. So we are going to calculate the sales value. Contains a new field. We have made a new field that is calculated at runtime and displayed with same currency formatting as RRP and ASP fields. This field will multiply volume field with ASP. So let us do this here. So we are going to create a new field here after ASP. I'm going to create a field called sales value, and it is going to be calculated in runtime. So how we are going to do that? Write the name of the field that you want to have, in this case sales value, sales underscore value. Then it is multiplication of volume field and ASP. So if you have to refer to any field, you are going to put that field name in the square bracket. So here, don't forget this important step. Some students are putting curly brackets. Don't do that. Square bracket is to refer to particular field. In this case, I am referring to volume, and I'm just going to close the square bracket, and then asterisk is for multiplying, and then I am going to write ASP. Make sure there should not be any spell mistake. If there are spell mistakes, then it's not going to work. So then here I'm just going to click on properties and click on format, and I'm just going to choose currency format from here, and I'm just going to close this, and then I will run the query, and you will see that I have another field at runtime here, that sales value, and you can see that it has the same symbol as that of ASP and 2 decimal places. Here we are done with this part. And now what we are going to do, I'm just going to highlight this part so that you get to know that, okay, fine, we are done with this part. I'm just going to highlight this like this. Now what you are going to do, you are going to put some criteria. So these are the criteria that are required. So for that, these fields, for example, title includes text night. So if I just go here and again go to the design view, and then under the title field, I have to put a criteria, and this criteria start with asterisk and then the word night. So if I put asterisk before and after, so no matter how it starts with or how it ends, the text that include word night, it's going to be there. So to show you how it works, I'm just going to run this query. I'm going to save this data and run this query. You will see that if I just expand this like this, you will see that every text here in the title field contained word night. You can see here even it is written as midnight and sort of thing. So if you put asterisk before and after, no matter how it starts, no matter how it ends, but it should include word night. So we are done with the one criteria. So now we have to do another criteria. I'm just going to save this. Go to again design view. Now let us see what is the second criteria. Volume is more than 6,000. So if I just show you here, volume, the criteria greater than 6,000. So I'm just going to write this. I'm going to save this data. Now let us see what third criteria is given. Imprint does not include proton. So it is very simple. So just locate imprint here, imprint. I'm just going to write not word proton. So be careful about the spellings. You can see that not proton. So if I just save it and if I run this query, you will see all of the criterias are satisfied. You can say volume is greater than 6,000 and what else? Title contains night word and binding does not include word proton. So you can see that we have shrinked our data. So we are done up to this point. I'm just going to highlight this as well. Now we are done with the query part. Now it's time that we are going to make a report, and remember the report is in the tabular form. So let us produce a report. So again click on create and go for the report wizard. So I'm just going to show you again. This is the option under the create tab, report wizard. So I'm just going to select this and let us open the paper. Let us align on left side. So we need all of these here, these fields. Click next. No need to group the data. Click on next. Here we can do the ascending and descending. You can see that it's given as ascending and descending order of binding, volume and sort of thing. But we are not going to do, otherwise the arrangement of those columns is going to be disrupted. We are not going to do it from here. So click on next, and remember the form is going to be produced as tabular, and just here just check what type of orientation is required. So orientation is landscape. I am going to select landscape and click on next. So the name of this particular report is going to be high volume book sales query. So this is that one, and I'm just going to highlight like this. So this one, and click on finish. So our report is going to be look like this. But here you see it is written as it should fits on single page wide. So it doesn't matter how many pages it's going to come, because you can see there are 2 pages, but all of the columns should fit in 1 page wide. So there is a lot of problem with the layout of this particular report. So we can fix it. Just go to the Either better is to go with the layout view because it gives you better control. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move these fields, like for example this one has stretched too much, so I'm just going to use arrow keys to make this arrangement like this. And for the imprints, I'm just going to shrink it like this. Make sure that all data should be visible. And then this one, I feel like that I need to make it more visible. You can see that this one is not coming. So what I can do, I can move these little bit on the right side, and I'm selecting this both by holding the control key like this, and I'm just going to move it like here. And then you can see I have to do it for this one because I want all of the titles should be visible. Make sure it should be visible. And you can see now my titles are visible. Now you can do the arrangement as per requirement. So make sure that all of the data should be visible and it looks consistent in the look. So I'm doing this one and here like this. And what else I can do, just save this. I can go to design view and I can select all of these, and then I can go to the home tab and make them black, and even I can make them bold. And same goes with this one. I can just select this one and make it bold, and also I can put a black color. If I just double click here, you will see I can see the print preview of this. Just click on print preview and you will see that this is going to be your print preview. Fine. So that's fine. This is not coming visible. Just go to the layout view and fix this. Just stretch a bit like this and save it. Fine. And this is, you're done with this particular form. Now if it's on single page white, it's yeah, one thing that we are left here, we have to go to the design view. You have to add a sort. So first add a sort based on ascending order of binding. So here just select sort ascending order of binding. So here A on top. Then we have to add another sort, and that is volume, and that is going to be from largest to small. Fine. So these are the two criterias that we have to apply. One sort is based on binding, other sort is based on volume. Fine. So I'm just going to save this. So if I just double click, you will see that it is sorted as well. So these are the criterias that we have already fulfilled. Has your name, center number, candidate number in the footer of the report displayed on every page. So you have to add your name. So here I'm just going to click on design view, and you can see there are two views. It's a page footer and report footer. So basically in the page footer you have to put so here that is going to be repeated on every page. So I'm just going to delete this one because it is not required. So I'm just going to put a label here. So they did not specify. I'm just going to put it on right side like this. So I'm just going to write my name, for example, here, Wakad. So XY 1 2 3, and candidate number, suppose it's 00, and control save. And then if I just double click, you will see it is appearing on the footer. And if I just check the print preview, so here print preview, you can see it's coming in both of the pages on the every page. Fine, both of the pages it's there. And remember, it is in the page footer. Fine, so if I just go again design view, you will see that I have put it in the page footer. So it should be in the page footer. So if you want it to be repeated in each page, so it should be in page footer. Report footer, whatever you're going to write here, it's going to appear at the end of the report. So I'm just going to save this up to this point, and we are done up to this point. So I'm just going to highlight like this. So now what else they are asking us to do? Save and print your report. So I'm just going to save my report and print it. Make sure you have entered name. Okay, we already did that. So I'm just going to highlight this one. Now, next step 26, export the report created in step 25 into rich text format. Save exported file in your work area. So what I am going to do, I am going to export it. So external data, and there is option of more. So you can see that there is option of export the selected object to rich text. So select it, and then you have to browse it, and you have to locate. So you can see that it's going to be saved in high volume book sales or TF. So I'm just going to click OK. So it's going to be exported like this. So it is exported now. They are asking that place in your evidence document a screenshot showing exported files saved in your work area. So it should have file type. Fine. So I'm just going to highlight this. Now I'm going to show you how to take a screenshot of that. So here you can see this file is exported. So what I can do is that I'm just going to select this and Windows Shift S. For the screenshot, I'm going to take here. So take a screenshot of this and then put it there in your evidence document. We are done up to this point. Now we are left with step 27. We are going to start with a query. We are going to create a query because we have few criterias that we have to put. But one thing is missing in here is that you don't have to calculate any field in runtime. So let us start again. So here again we have to go to create, and then we have option of query wizard, and we are going to create a query, simple query. So click next, and what fields we are required. So we are going to take from the books table, title is there. Then we have author is there. Then binding. So where is binding? Just double click on binding. Books genre. So it's going to be in genre table, obviously. So books genre, and rank. So it's going to be here. So where is rank? Yeah. Okay, so this is done. We are going to check again title, author, binding, book genre, and rank. So these are done. So click on next, and I'm just going to name this query as like this: top ranking youth fiction. Fine. I'm just going to like put like this name, and then click on, sorry for that, I'm just going to backspace this and click on finish. Fine. So we are done up to this point. Now we are going to quickly put the criterias that are required. So we have to go to design view of this here. So in design view, book genre is children or young adult. So here book genre, I'm just going to put, let us check what the criteria is given, like children and young adult. Children or young adult. children and young adult. So I'm just going to save it, and if I just run it, you can see genre is children, and if I just and young adult as well. Fine. So I'm just going to go back here, go to the design view again. We are done with that. Rank is 400 or less. So rank is less than, I'm just going to zoom in, less than equal to 400. So 400 or less. Binding is paperback. So binding is paperback. So I'm just going to write paperback. So here we go. But there is no space between paperback. So I'm just going to like this, control save. And then if I just run this query, you will see that our data is shrinked now. So what happened here? Binding is paperback, book genre is children and young adult, and rank is, you can say, less than or equal to 400. So you can see all of the values is less than 400. But here you have to see 400 or less means 400 included. So that's why I have put here, if you see in the design view, you can see it's less than equal to 400. So we are done up to this point. So I'm just going to select this one and highlight this one so that we get to know that, okay, we are done with this point. Okay. Now we are going to create a report based on this query. So create, click on report wizard, and you can see top ranking fiction. We need all of these fields. Click on next. No grouping of data. Click on next. No ascending, descending. We are going to do it later. And then just check either what we need. We need tabular, and one thing more, it's portrait. Yeah. So its portrait is already selected. So I'm just going to highlight this as well. So portrait, we did not do sort in ascending order of rank. We are going to, and it fits on single page. So obviously data is not that much. It's going to fit in single page. I'm just going to write the title for this particular report is top ranking youth fiction. So I'm just going to select this and put it here like this. So click here. So we are done with this one. So quickly we have to, go to the report view, go to the layout view, and then set the layout of this. So you can see, just like we did for the previous report, you're going to do the same procedure, and you can use arrow keys to, make them shrink or make them expanded. Here, like this, I'm just going to, make it shrink like this, because I need bit of space for the title, because titles are large and they should be visible, all of them. So you can see that all of them are now visible. And here you can see, if I just select this one, and I just have to shrink the book genre like this, and then this rank one, I'm just going to make it like on the left, and then like this. Now it is all visible. I will just move it a bit on the left side, and this one as well here. So it look good now. So other than that, I have to do a bit of formatting for this. Click on home, go to black and click on bold. That's fine. And same goes for this one. So I can go to the home tab, select all of this and go make it black and also bold. Now it look good. So I'm just going to save it. And if I just open it and go for the print preview, you will see that there is going to be one page. Fine. And then let us see what else they are asked us to fits in single page. That's done. But one thing that we did not do, it's sort ascending order of rank. So we did not do that. Let us do that as well. Go to the design view and then add sort. Fine. So add sort based on rank, and let us see, rank should be in ascending order. So ascending rank should be ascending order, means smallest to largest. It's already smallest to largest, so just save it, and if I just double click, you can see rank is in ascending order. So we are done with this one as well. So I'm just going to highlight this. Includes only the text top ranking youth fiction title displayed larger size on the top of the page. So we are done with this. It's larger and it is on the top. Calculates the total number of books in the selection and positions this number in the binding column. So we have to count the total, and total should be under the binding column. So here, fine. So what I am going to do, I'm just going to go to the design view, and because there is one page, so either I can do it in report footer, and you are going to choose this text box. Click here, and we are going to put it under the binding like this, and you're going to use Excel function like count symbol and then round bracket. But here in Access, when you are going to refer to any column, so you have to put it as a square bracket. So right now I'm just going to write binding like this, binding, and square bracket close, and round bracket close. So now let us see, I'm just going to write this label like number of books here, and then you can see this square box. Then otherwise, if you are going to move this around, both of them are going to move around. So number of books is there. I'm just going to make it bigger, number of books like this, and shrink the size of this like this, and then it would be fine. Just control save, and let us see what is going to be the effect of this. So you can see under the binding you have the number of books. So make it little bit more better. Go to the design view, and if I just move it bit like this and shrink the size like this, and shrink the size of this one as well like this. So I'm just going to save this, and then I'm just going to highlight this one because we are done with this step. Then they are saying has your name, center number, and candidate number on the report. So here you see that we have only one page, so we are going to add in the page footer, or either you can add in the report footer if you want. So I'm just going to add a label here. So here I'm just going to write my name here, and then candidate number suppose 00. Fine. So here, and if I just save it, and if I just show you, like double click here, and you will see that my name, candidate number, and center number is there, and number of books, it's being calculated under the binding column. Fine. So how many number of books are there? There are 28 number of books. We are done, and we are going to save this report. As per they're asking that you have to make sure that you we have entered our name, center number, and candidate number. So I'm just going to highlight this, place in your evidence document screenshot. So what you are going to do, you have to put a screenshot for this particular formula. So how you do that? Right click, design view. Fine. And then you are going to take a screenshot of this particular portion like this. You have to make it visible, and you can move it here like this, and then take a screenshot like this here and paste it in your evidence document. Save it. Then recommend 2 changes that could be made to improve the efficiency and ease of use. One of the recommendation is that we can use drop-down menus in the form. So reason why, because it's going to be easier for the user to enter the data, and there will be no errors in the data. And one more you can say a point for the improving the efficiency of this particular database is that you can specify the sizes for each field. So that's going to, the reason is that why we are going to do that. Once we are going to do that, it's going to keep our database size minimal, and it's not going to, otherwise default size is being used and our database is going to become bulky, and it's going to take more space. So that is it for today's session. Hopefully it had made a whole lot of sense for you. So I'm signing off. That's it. Thank you.